This is Cap, short for Copernicus and Captain Steve Rogers. He was the smallest of his litter. He weighed less than an ounce. He was rejected by his mother because he couldn't even get into the other sea of dogs. He was the seventh one. And I had to bottle feed him. And in order to keep him alive, I had to put him inside my sports bra so that he was nestled in between my chest and could use my body warmth to keep him alive. He was this big. And he would wiggle because he's a puppy. And I'm 5'3". And he wiggled his way out one day out of my bra and fell to the ground. He should have died. Immediately should have died. And he didn't. I screamed and I was like, please don't be dead. Please have nothing wrong. No, 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 no. And he was fine. It wasn't the first time he fell either. He fell after that and I did the same thing and he was fine. There were nights that he would be on his warming pad under a warming lamp and he would barely be breathing. And I would talk to him every single day. And by all accounts, he never should have lived, ever. And I started to notice things like this happened all the time because reality is not real. It is created by us in our minds. And when we use our voice, they're spells. Our brain and spinal cord, our bodies listen to it, and our bodies create this electromagnetism. It's a toroid field. In esoteric texts, they can call it a Merkaba. And that's what creates what we see around us in this reality. But I wanted to give that example because if a human falls from anything twice their height, it's considered a big trauma. I come from, emergency medical services, so I know this. And a little tiny thing, this big, wiggling out of my chest height and to the hard kitchen floor and didn't die. It didn't even affect him, not one bit. And he should have died immediately. I had a guinea pig when I was growing up, and it accidentally fell from my little height, which I was probably 4 foot nothing, and it died. So this little tiny dog fell from that height, and nothing was wrong with him, and he should have been dead immediately. But he wasn't. And that kind of stuff continues to happen, and it is my reality reflecting to me that it's not real and that I created. And all of this started to happen and started to show itself to me after my near-death experience. Because when I went into surgery, I said that I wanted to know how it worked. And if I didn't know, if I couldn't find out, and if I couldn't change it, then I didn't want to come back. And what I meant when I went in there was actually more about my relationships and things that were happening in my life. I didn't know that I would get to see the fabric of the universe, but that's exactly what happened. And then ever since then, every single time I tell my brain I want to see something, show me something, it shows up. It shows up in more ways than I can even tell you. I can give example after example after example. You guys need to start testing your reality and start talking to your brain. It doesn't feel like normal at first because of everything that you've been told and everything that you've been conditioned to believe. But if you do it anyway, your nervous system, which is what makes it feel weird in the first place, will metabolize it, and it'll feel just normal. It has gotten so constrained today that if you step outside or you start believing anything and you start talking to other people because you need other people to validate you, then they're gonna put you in the nutter house. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you to stop it. Back in the day, in the 80s, Ingo Swann created controlled remote viewing. He was a psychic, okay? And the army used his method and proved that it could work and that it was real. Controlled remote viewing. But if Ingo Swann were here today and he was a psychic and he started to do all that, they would put him in the nutter house. They'd call him schizophrenic or whatever else. So you have to play with your reality safely and keep your mouth shut, because no one has your experience and no one has your lived experience. And it is a lot to wrap your head around. And if you start talking to other people and getting excited and you can't verbalize it correctly, they're gonna put you in the nutter house. So play with your reality, but do it safely. The more people that wake up and start realizing this stuff and doing this stuff, the more that they make it constrained. You cannot believe in what other people tell you if they are constrained and don't even understand quantum physics or reality, which is what science says this is. So start to conduct yourself in a way that's safe and talk to your brain and ask it to show you what reality really is. And if anybody messes with you, or if you talk to anybody and they start messing with you at all you have to say is that it's your religious belief. And you know why that works? Because it's in the Constitution. And if you frame it as a religious belief, then they can't do shit to you because you're just framing it in a way that society accepts. But if you start going off on the quantum physics and all this stuff, which to people who don't understand quantum physics, it sounds like magic. And to people that don't really understand what you're going through or what you're doing, they're not going to accept it either. Anytime you start stepping out of the norm, you're going to have people that come after you because you are challenging their belief system. And that is about them. That is not about you. So play with the quantum, play with reality by talking to your brain and telling yourself, show me what reality is. Help me connect the dots. You will start getting some weird connections and weird stuff. Keep going with it. Validate yourself, believe in yourself, and you will see what reality is.